started about an hour ago. When I say we, I mean the bike and me. It's a bit of a new type of journey for me, doing it on my own this time. Chosen this particular spot for the first report because I've been obviously on the path behind, and off to my right here, off to the west, I've been to Mont Saint-Michel, but this morning I'm heading east towards Domfront, and I'm going to take the cycle path in that direction. It's part of an overall trip down through Mayenne and Laval, down towards the Loire. It's a fabulous morning, couldn't be better for cycling. A bit of a breeze, lots of sunshine, and hopefully the rain will stay away. There has been very little of it so far this summer. As I said earlier, this is a new experience, travelling on my Todd. We'll see how long I can stick my own company. We'll see how that goes. I've been cycling for another hour. It's around about 11 o'clock. Unfortunately, the excellent cycle path from near Mortain towards Domfront has deteriorated slightly. Obviously, this is a section that hasn't received the same treatment as the other section. It'll be more mountain bike territory. Bit rough. Fingers crossed for my tyres. But I think in about 10 minutes or so should reach the road, and that will take me more southerly towards Mayenne. Just had my lunch here at Sousse. Found a small plan d'eau to join a campsite. Very quiet, perfect spot for lunch. Kilometres going very well, perfect day. Cycle paths were very sheltered, but some of the ground was a bit rough and I was a bit scared of punctures. However, sitting here watching the rainbow trout jumping out of the lake, and my friends the ducks over here. But perfect spot, going well today, so report later on in the afternoon. So still picked up the pathway, cycle path from Sousse down towards the Ambrières Valley, and been using an excellent path. Mayenne area or region seems to have it really well sussed out. This is a remnant of the track which is used for one of those hand operated railway trolleys, and you can see some of the old sleepers and the railway tracks themselves and what the track must have looked like. And what I can see is this quite clearly follows it all the way through to Mayenne, to Laval, and then we'll pick up the river path all the way down. So past the town there on the right hand side, but haven't looked and see what it is. Anyway, good timing, 1:30, and we'll move on. Well, made it to the towpath along the River Mayenne. The river's looking in fabulous condition. Very like up in Sando. The river's a bit wider here. That's quite rough. Good early start, left Laval, a campsite outside Laval, Saint-Berthevin, at 8 o'clock. I've had a coffee in Laval, very nice town. Well, it's actually a pretty big town, looks well with the Mayenne, passing right through the heart of it. There was quite a bit more of it to explore in the old medieval part, but I just passed on through. We're at one of the many weirs and lock systems on the Mayenne. They're all pretty uniform and they're all pretty impressive. However, I can imagine if you're in a boat travelling upstream, it must be a bit of a pain having to go into all these locks. It certainly would slow your progress down. Now progressing towards Gontier, I reckon it's about 25 kilometres. 25 kilometres along the Chemin de Halage. The path varies in quality from quite a smooth surface to one that's quite rutted, and again I'm always very wary about the tyres on my bike. Probably could have done with new ones, and so far so good. The Mayenne at this stage now is a pretty big river. It is pretty impressive. But I think perhaps after a certain amount of time cycling along it, some parts of it begin to look a bit of the same. One slight disadvantage of following this type of route is that you do tend to miss out on the villages. They tend to be located on higher ground away from the river, and sometimes you're past them before you even notice that you've done so. And of course, if you're looking for bread or boulanger or whatever, that can be a slight disadvantage. A bit cloudier today, but I'll not complain about that. It probably will clear later on, but we'll see. Just approaching another one of the locks. See the mill they have on the other side. Gulls around. River much wider here. Coming up to a wee lockkeeper's cottage. All very picturesque. Well, this is the furthest south I'm going to go. It's Lyon d'Angers. It's where the river Udon meets the Mayenne. It's quite a nice town. I've had a quick scoot up around through it. But it's now almost 2 o'clock and time to have some lunch. I think up until now, there was an idea in the back of my head that I could get to the Loire, at Bushmain. But from here, Bushmain is probably about another 40-45 kilometres right through the big city of Angers. So if I added the return journey to that, it's another 100 kilometres, and I think that it's pushing it a bit much. Coming along the chemin de halage was pretty good until with one particular site at Dayon, where it became more segmented. There were improving places, there were parts of it which improved. In fact, there's a very good one here at Lyon, but it's the continuity. You had to head off up steep hills onto the little windy roads, and that was pretty tough and made for very slow progress. So I think the idea now is to tackle a little bit less, tailor the route and have a look and see what direction to go, because I think what would probably happen if I went to Bushmain, which I probably could get there, would mean that there were 2 pretty long days left of cycling to get back to Surdeval, and really probably wouldn't have seen much of the countryside. So busy thinking about how many kilometres to go, what time it was, where the campsites were, and a little bit too much of that, I think. I think the idea is now for the remaining time is to chill out a little bit more, with less pressure on the mileage or the kilometres. So with that, I'll finish my beer and start my lunch. Cheers. Lunch beside really gorgeous lake. It's about 1 o'clock. Done 60 kilometres today after leaving Sablé-sur-Sarthe this morning. Going was really well. Going was really good. Up over a plateau out of the Sarthe Valley, that would have been. A lot of what I think I missed with the riverside path, big open countryside, way up on the top, up on the plateau, you can see for miles and miles. Blistering sunshine, lots of wildlife, lots of small villages. So eventually got to Évron. It's a reasonable sized town, probably between the size of Vire and Surdeval. It's about 5 kilometres down that direction, and just saw on the map this lake Didn't look too big on the map, but it's what a complex. Huge lake. As the French do so well, they have a little beach on the far side. They even have a lifeguard. This seems to be like in the middle of nowhere. Lifeguard, and there are people in swimming. Not very many. There's a huge bar, restaurant complex right beside of here. Not very many people here. However, my sandwich is going well here. Lovely cooling breeze because it is pretty warm. I'm probably stopping for an hour in the middle of the day now is definitely a good idea. Gradually working my way north, back towards Surdeval, and this evening hopefully get to Ombriel, the valley. Shouldn't be a problem. Just taking my time getting there. And I'm really hungry. Look at that beer. Anyway, lovely sandwich. So just let you have a quick look around the lake here.